You obviously were in college without NIL, so you weren't making any money outside of scholarship check and stuff at Kansas. So what was it like getting your first NBA check?
The first thing I realized when it's real money, so I got my first. So it was like advanced. I got like a couple $100,000, and I go to. I was like, oh, like I got a lot of money, so I just wanted to go buy an iPhone. So I just go. I was in LA. I'm going to buy an iPhone. So I bought an iPhone. I left. I look at my bank account, and like nothing changed on it.
You haven't been on this kind of caliber of team as the Boston Celtics. How does that kind of feel, and where are you trying to find your niche in the rotation?
I feel like it's a great opportunity, and with the better players and better teams, I feel like it opens up more opportunity for guys who play in my position and my role, which is come out and shoot the ball.
Kansas football, it's Texas loves to say it, and we're back before textbook. Hey, we're back. I went to the game on Friday, and just the atmosphere, the buzz around the program.
It used to be in the past where the first 2 games were over with football, and everyone's like, all right, when's basketball season start? That's not the case anymore.
Dad used to tell me all the time. Son, don't worry about the mules, just load the wagon.
It's time for nice flannels and cozy socks, but we can't forget to trim our balls. Join the 9 million men already using Manscaped and get the kit that covers it all, the Performance Package 4.0. After you clear the driveway, the Performance Package has 2 hot items to cool you down, the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver. One to prevent stink and one to make sure it stays away. Fresh ball fall is upon us. Light a candle, grab your pumpkin spice, and make sure your balls are looking nice with today's sponsor, Manscaped. Nature may rid the leaves of their trees, but you only need the help of Manscaped to make sure your balls are looking ready for sweater weather. Use Manscaped to make sure you're as fresh as a fall breeze when cuffing season comes around. Use our promo code ROCKCHALK20 for 20% off of any online order plus free shipping. Visit manscaped.com and enter promo code ROCKCHALK20.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. I'm your host, Mitch Lightfoot, here with my co-host, Chris Teahan. We're excited to talk to Svi Mykhailiuk today. Also going to give you guys a quick update. KU football, winning games, looking dominant, excited for the future here. Personally, I think we're about where we need to be for us to be contenders in the Big 12. So, Chris, what do you got?
Kansas football, it's Texas loves to say it, and we're back before textbook. Hey, we're back. I went to the game on Friday, and just the atmosphere, the buzz around the program. You can attest to it, Mitch. During football season when we were there, no offense to anybody who was on the football team or whatever, it was all about basketball still. Mm-hmm. And now the games are super entertaining. Our offense is so much fun to watch. You watch Jalen Daniels. He looked like Pat Mahomes against Illinois on Friday night.
I think the thing that's cool, the thing that's really cool about our football team now is that it's taking, we said this before, and I know we're harping on it, but it's taking so much pressure off of basketball, because it used to be in the past where the first 2 games were over with football and everyone's like, all right, when's basketball season start? That's not the case anymore. Like, people are locked into football, and they're going to give it its due diligence. And I think Lance Leipold has got it going on. And like you said, Jalen Daniels looks like he did last year, and potential Heisman candidate if he can continue to play at a high level. Hopefully the injury bug stays away, because that man is special.
And you look at Jalen Daniels, and if he does, you want the injury bug to stay away. But then you get to look at Jason Bean, the first game too against Missouri State. We got to have the best starting and backup QB room in America, unless I don't know about somebody. And then
I completely agree with you. I think it allows us to play at a high level regardless of who's on the field. Obviously, they play similar, but there's different looks to either one of them. I think Jason Bean is fast, but he's faster than I think most people think too. Like, the guy can fly. He allows us to really play some quarterback option. I think that there'll be an opportunity for us to use him effectively in games against teams that might not have the ability to defend that as well as some other teams. I think Devin Neal's looking amazing. Our running back room has looked great. Defensively, Rich Miller has been somebody that I think has really stepped up to the challenge and given KU a chance to be special.
And I think there was a stat saying that we were top 5 in pass rush defense this year, or pressures, or something like that. I can't remember the exact stat. And everyone had questions about the defense to start the year. And it's not like we played Missouri State and then played South Dakota. We played Illinois, who is a middle of the pack, if not upper part of the pack in the Big Ten. We played fantastic defensively, put a bunch of pressure on the quarterback. We obviously lost a little bit of momentum at the end of the game. And, I mean, you look at Jason Bean, we were talking about, like, it's not a 2-quarterback system like we've had in the past where neither one of them get rhythm. Jason Bean can go play whatever position because he's an athlete. But then we're talking about Jalen Daniels being a Heisman candidate. I think people are overlooking Devin Neal. I mean, he has been all over the field in every facet of the game. I mean, he's been in the run game, in the pass game. He just is an explosive, big play player, and it's been very fun to watch. I'm very excited to see how the season progresses, and if you aren't already on the KU football bandwagon, you better hop on fast.
I was seeing some stuff where, was it the Jaguars that were copying Andy Kotelnicki's plays? Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but his plays
the
were
Jaguars,
unreal.
I'm pretty sure, like, this is going to kill me. I think it was the Jaguars were copying Andy Kotelnicki's play. I'll have to have the video team edit us in a clip of them side by side here. But no, that's pretty crazy that we have an offensive coordinator who has plays getting cherry picked by NFL teams. I mean, that just attests to the style of football we're playing, and it allows us to play against teams that may be a little bit out of our level skill wise, but like we can surprise them with our playbook and then how gritty we are.
And we run. I mean, I don't know a ton about football. I won't even say I know in comparison to basketball 50% of the knowledge, but I know that we don't have many formations. We don't have many different plays in the playbook, like different routes, different route trees, different run plays, blocking schemes. We do a great job of using the motion to detect what kind of coverage the other team is, to really just confuse these guys where you're having an ineligible receiver on the inside, motioning guy on the outside, thinking that you got to cover this guy. It's really a mind bender, and I love it. I love watching it. It's very fun. Our offense can score with anybody in the nation. It's up to the defense, which I have confidence in, to really stop teams when we get into real Big 12 play, when we're playing like the Oklahomas, the Texas, and stuff like that. But I have a lot of faith in us, and later on the episode we'll ask Svi about it. We'll see his prediction on wins. But I think that I would say I probably will say about 8 wins. I would say 8-9. I would not be surprised if we got hot in Big 12 play and really gave K-State or Texas or Oklahoma or whoever you want to say is at the top a little bit of run for their money.
My super hot take is dark horse Big 12 contender is Kansas Jayhawks in football, and that's something exciting to say, and I feel like it's kind of crazy that it's not even that outlandish, quite honestly. Like, we look good, and I think we're gonna give people a run for their money. I'm excited to play against K-State. They've been talking a lot of smack recently, so it'll be cool to have the Hawks back out there ready to take them on. Chris, I wanted to ask you, the black jerseys. Everyone's been talking about it. What was your opinion on it? Do you think that they looked good? Do you think that Jayhawks should be wearing that alternate color? What do you think?
You know what? I'm not a big blackout fan. I'm not a big black on black fan. I wouldn't really love it if we did it for the Kansas basketball, but I loved our uniforms. I think they did a great job of it. I think gave some excitement to the game. We did a blackout in the stadium. All the student section was wearing black, so I personally loved it.
Yeah, no, I was telling you earlier, I think as long as recruits like it and they think it looks cool, the players like it, they think it looks cool, they're happy with it, then I think no harm, no foul. It'll allow us to compete with other schools in terms of recruiting. And it's another sick jersey for fans to go out there and buy and have. in their game day repertoire. So it'll be cool to see those jerseys floating around. Like you said, I don't know if they'll have alternate black jerseys for basketball this year, but that'd be something that could be on the horizon. But with how Coach Self is and how his superstitions, I don't know if those would happen.
Yeah, I don't know if that will happen. But, hey, let's get one more segment between me and Mitch. I'm starting a new segment because Mitch is in Belgium. He's on today's episode, which is fantastic. Love to have him, but there will probably be some scheduling conflicts. But, hey, we're starting a new segment, and it's Quote of the Day. I thought it would be more visible, but since the boys are starting boot camp on Monday, the previous Monday when this pod airs, the Quote of the Day, quote of the episode is, "A closed fist hurts a lot worse than an open hand." And the quote's from anybody who's ever been punched. And that's what boot camp's for. It's to make these guys who are all like this right now, not saying that they aren't a team, but to kind of come together a little bit more so they pretty much break the wills of the teams that they play throughout the year. Mitch, I mean, I know that you have been with Coach Self just as long as I have, if not or longer. That's something he says a good amount of the time, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think that's a great quote headed into boot camp. It allows the guys to understand that, hey, I mean, it's all about we and it's not about me. The sooner that you can figure that out, the easier time you're going to have during boot camp. Chris, what is one thing that you would tell the guys in this week of boot camp? What is the one thing that they need to do in order to give themselves a chance to have an easier life?
I would say communicating, picking up your teammates, and focusing and listening.
Don't be late.
Yeah, don't be late to anything. It's really just about having discipline. If you listen to what Coach Self says, give effort, have the right attitude, be talking, it's awful. It's terrible, no doubt about that. But it becomes a lot more easy when you aren't doing the extra 55s, 30s, whatever it is. So it's really just about picking up your brother, making sure that he's okay, he's good, ready to hit the next circuit, sprint, whatever it is. But it's really a team building exercise where you guys sit there and you find out really what you guys are made of and how deep you guys can dig.
100%. I think that all the guys on our team, we've got some veteran leadership. So anyone that's worried about boot camp, lean on your vets, allow them to kind of lead the way through. Continue to communicate and continue to understand it's we over me.
For sure. And yeah, hey, the vets will be great. Our last year was more, we were really worried about all the freshmen we had coming in, which is very understandable. Your first one's always the worst. It gets better. You figure it out. But yeah, give 110% of effort and have a smile on your face, or at least be yelling while you're doing it.
Yeah, get to Wednesday. All you got to do is, if you can get to Wednesday, there's light at the end of the tunnel, then you can get to the weekend, and then you can get to the next Monday, Tuesday for your 2022s and 30-30s.
And yeah, Tuesday is by far the worst day. I mean, that is like, if you get through Thursday, you get through Tuesday, you're through boot camp for real. Like that first Tuesday you're sitting there, you get done with that, and you're like, shit, I got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I got 2 days break. I can barely walk right now. Then I gotta run 2022s and 30-30s. It's really a mental game, and your bodies can take it. You guys are Division I high major athletes. I mean, I did it, and I'm not the most athletic man.
You're a freak athlete, Chris. Don't sell yourself short. You're a freak athlete.
Hey, Mitch, I appreciate that you're gassing me up. But hey, that's it for just us two. We're about to bring on Svi Mykhailiuk. Everyone really knows him as Svi. That's a mouthful to say, but listen in. It's about to be a great episode. Rock Chalk. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. I'm Chris Teahan, your host, co-host, Mitch Lightfoot, and we got a special guest today, the Ukrainian Larry Bird, newest member of the Boston Celtics, Svi Mykhailiuk. Everyone knows him as Svi. Don't try to say the whole thing. Svi, how we doing?
Good, man. I appreciate the introduction. That was wild. Nobody called me Larry Bird.
Yeah, the Ukrainian Larry Bird. That's pretty good, Chris. Way to go. Svi, good to have you on. I'm super pumped to get to talk to you today. It's been a while. I'm glad to catch up. First off, I wanted to get your feelings on being signing with Boston. How do you like the city so far, and how do you like the team?
Oh, it's great. Obviously, they've been a historically really good team in basketball. obviously it's an honor to be a part of this organization and them being interested in me to bring on board and to play for them. And I'm really excited to be here. Cities ain't really done much. I've only been here for a week, so. But I mean, city is a city. I never been a guy who like go to teams and be like, oh, let me see what's going on in the city and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff, a lot of restaurants. Obviously, I feel like there's a lot of colleges here as well. So it's like Harvard, Boston College, and like a bunch of other colleges. So it's pretty crowded.
So Svi, you've bounced around to a couple teams, and you haven't really been on a caliber of team. I mean, when you got drafted to the Lakers, that was LeBron's first year, but you haven't been on this kind of caliber of team as the Boston Celtics. How does that kind of feel, and where are you trying to find your niche in the rotation?
It feels great. Obviously, it'll be tough. It's always competition as in any other NBA team. But I feel like it's a great opportunity, and with the better players and better teams, I feel like it opens up more opportunity for guys who play in my position and my role, which is come out and shoot the ball. And guys like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they put so much pressure on defense, and which opens up a lot of opportunities for guys like me.
Chris, you mentioned it. I wanted to ask you about being drafted by the Lakers. What was that like? Obviously, LA is a huge sports town, and the Lakers are arguably a top 3 sports team in all of sports. What did you think about that situation, and how did you enjoy LA?
It was definitely crazy coming from Lawrence to LA right away. But on the other hand, I was really excited and just to get to NBA overall. And I didn't really do much my rookie year in the city at all. I was just going to a gym and back. But it's a great weather, same weather all year round. Just put some flip-flop shorts, go to practice. All the games sold out, especially when LeBron came in. It was his first year, so it was definitely like every game sold out. Everybody coming to watch him, and I feel like we had a pretty good team. But a couple injuries happened, take us out, of course, and then I got traded. So who
was your mentor on that team? Like, who was the guy that really took you under his wing, being your first year in the league?
I would say Rondo. He was my vet that year. But obviously we had a lot of vets. But again, JaVale, LeBron, Mike Beasley, Lance Stevenson, Rondo. So we had a lot of different characters, but and we had like really, really great young core. Lonzo, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. But Rondo was like my vet.
So you mentioned mentioned Lance Stevenson. I forgot he was on that Lakers team. He's known for just being really just Lance Stevenson. How is he as a locker room guy? Everyone thinks he's a terrible locker room guy and his antics or whatever get in the way. But I would like an opinion of someone who shared the court with them for a good amount of time.
He's not a terrible locker room guy. He is a little wild. he's a funny wild guy, but I wouldn't say he's terrible. It just depends what team you put him on, and the team that trying to win a championship, and everybody needs to be focused and play the right way. And I would say for him, it's not mainly the locker room. It's just like the way he played. It was just a little different for what I would say. He just played a little reckless.
He's a boomer bust guy. He's going to either go out there and give you a ton of energy and do the guitar stuff.
But sometimes I feel like you don't know what's going to happen when he has the ball. If he scores, then he just he's hot, so he gonna shoot next 2-3 possessions. So he was like, sometimes it was so we had a game, and I think I forgot it was preseason or it was like first couple of games in the season. So it was like a fast break, and I forgot what happened. Either he scored or something. And next fast break, he going, and it's like 2-on-1, him and JaVale, and he was trying to throw that lob behind the back, and it was a turnover, and they scored. And obviously he got subbed out, but I feel like situations like him kind of slowed down here, and his minutes went down because of that.
We talked to CB and Oach about this a little bit. What were your rookie duties? Like, what did they make you do as your rookie initiation for the league?
I would say just basic stuff. Do whatever as you do if we're on the road. If, for example, it's like 10, 11 p.m. and somebody call you, come to my room. Usually they like just text you or call you, be like, hey, I need you to go to a store, give me that. Or for every flight, I had to bring cards, new deck of cards, because people play cards, gambling. Yeah, so like it's little stuff. It's not crazy, but I mean, obviously sometimes it can get annoying. But they like if you go to a store and they ask you, like, for example, Javel called me like, I need some chips, I need some water, like snacks. So I go, it cost me like, I don't know, $30. So he give you $100. So which is like, I don't mind that.
So, you obviously were in college without NIL, so you weren't making any money outside of scholarship check and stuff at Kansas. So what was it like getting your first NBA check? I know LA takes so much of like that percentage of it in taxes, but what was the feeling when you got your first couple of checks and were like, okay, this is real and a lot of money?
The first thing I realized when it's real money, so I got my first. So it was like advanced. I got like a couple $100,000, and I go to. I was like, oh, like I got a lot of money, so I just wanted to go buy an iPhone. So I just go. I was in the lab going to buy an iPhone. So I bought an iPhone. I left. I looked at my bank account, and like nothing changed on it. Like I was like, oh shit, I got a lot of money. Like I went in, I got iPhone, which like for me in college it was like a lot, like $1,900, like $1,000, a lot of money. Like I look at it and like I look at my bank, I was like nothing really changed except like it went from like 167, it went to like 166.
Yeah,
and
like, you had to get that itch after being like, okay, what do I get next? What do I get next?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you gotta be smart with it. I never really was that guy that needed a lot of stuff, but like for me, it was like the moment when I realized it's a lot of money when you just go as a kid, you buy your iPhone, whatever, iPad, and you look at it. It was like nothing really changed, so it was like being changed.
So talking about like the big boy business side of things, how is the NBA a business compared to college? Like I know in college, like it's a little bit more sheltered than the NBA. How is the NBA a business?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like in terms of like with trades and hey, like you're going here today, like hey, you've been traded, like things of that nature.
Yeah, obviously, college is right now it's college business. Before, when I was there and y'all were there, it's like, I mean, first couple of years y'all were there, it's no really business. You go and you just play. You don't really get paid, nothing. You just go and play. But NBA, yeah, it's you go in. You gotta understand. I learned it quick. I learned in the first 6 months. You gotta understand that. Obviously, you gotta perform to the highest level. Even if you do perform to the highest level, you still might get traded because it would be better for a team, or team has different views of what they want to do next year or a couple years ahead. So I feel like you gotta understand that you're gonna be viewed as in terms, it's like piece of stock. So if your stock high, you're gonna get more offers on it. People would want to buy it because your value go up. If your stock low, it's obviously
not much. Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, you're a great basketball player, but you're on a team with LeBron James first year. Does everybody on that team who isn't a LeBron or an AD or something like that, are they just thinking, uh-oh, I'm going to get traded? Or is it more of a, like, love to play for another opportunity, may not be as long? But, I mean, he controls, like, you talk about a business, that man makes the business triple in size and the moves they make and all that kind of stuff. Was that kind of the feeling that everyone was pretty much replaceable and kind of, like, just really couldn't settle in?
I feel like yes and no. For me, I mean, obviously it worked out well. I went to Detroit and I got bigger opportunities. I play good. And but yeah, if you're on a teams like that, they're trying to win championship, and you don't perform to your highest potential to the highest level you can perform, yeah, it's like we gotta find somebody who's gonna like be better, or because it's LeBron. He's trying to win every year. They're not trying to be like, oh, maybe we're gonna win this year, maybe not. They're like, no, we trying to win really hard, so we gotta get best pieces that we can get, even if it's like they did with the AD. So they traded Lonzo, Bi, Josh Hart. Then they traded Mo Wagner, Isaac Bonga. So they traded like all those people to get the right piece they need. So they then in the future ended up Bi's All-Star. I mean, Lonzo played really great. Obviously, his injury, but Josh Hart is really, really, really good. Great role player. So it's like they didn't look in the future. They just needed like, okay, we need to win right now. So how we can do that?
Yeah, and I mean that's a huge market team, and then you add LeBron to it, makes it even bigger. And I mean, yeah, you're a young guy, and if you lose 6-7 games in a row, I'm sure everyone's thought in the back of their head, or if you go on like a slow streak, is they're gonna find a way to. I mean,
oh no, for sure. I feel like we definitely didn't. Before I got traded, or like in the January, we were like 4th in the West. So then I got traded. Obviously, I didn't really follow that. But yeah, we're like 4th in the West. But then Brown got hurt, Rondo got hurt. So it was like they went down all the way to. I don't think they made the playoffs. But yeah, you just gotta perform, and when you don't, obviously you start thinking, because especially when the trade deadline coming up, everybody like, man. I got traded on the plane. I was on the plane. We were going to take off to Boston, and Zubats was behind me. He tapping me like, hey, bro, you got traded. And showed me like on Twitter. I was like, wow.
So you found out on Twitter on the team plane. Like the rest of that plane ride, you just sitting there like shooting the shit with people? Or
nobody knew. It was like we literally like driving to take off. And the dude tapped me behind like, oh, wow, see. He got traded too, but he got traded to Clippers. I got traded to Detroit.
He didn't have to move anywhere, but I mean, you're just on the flight the rest of the time, like maybe having a drink, chilling, or you like just
I got it to Boston. Yeah, I got it to Boston. Next day, I had to fly to Detroit.
That's wild.
That's crazy. So how does that work? Like you landed in your plane took off. You landed do you get off the plane shake everybody's hands, see you later?
That's basically what I got on the bus. Talked to a couple of people, talked to a coach. Then you just talk to them. Hey, good luck, everybody. I'll see you when I see you.
That's crazy.
They ship your stuff though too, right? Like when you went right to Detroit, and they try to.
Yeah, if you get traded, No, if you get traded, team usually pay for your shipping.
Very cool. Svi, I wanted to transition and go back and talk about your time coming to KU from Ukraine, being one of you are the youngest player in Big 12 history. Talk about that transition, going from playing over there to playing in Lawrence for Coach Self. What was the adjustment like there?
Obviously it was overwhelming because me coming to a different country, and obviously I didn't know anything about it. Just from I knew a little bit about college only from watching, movies or some TV shows. But when I got there, it really hit me it was. I was really excited because it was different world for me, because college and university back home, it's not really as college and university in America, for example, or even college and university in Europe is not as the same as American college. So it was a lot of great experiences, and especially just being a student, way different. But just being a student athlete and play the game you love every day, it was definitely a really exciting time.
When you got to KU, who were your first friends on the team? Who like I said earlier, who took you under their wing here?
And how well did you speak English when you first got to Kansas? Did you practice?
Not really. Yeah, not really well. I knew basic English stuff because I did a test, I guess, to figure out what level of my English was, and it was level 3 out of 5, I guess. But I still had to take like my first 2 years. I was taking the English classes only. Like I didn't have like regular classes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was average, below average. But like in the locker room, I couldn't understand what people saying. And in practices, like I had to talk to like Tyler and Evan and be like try to like what will he say, because it's different when you get into surrounding of people that speak English every day. And when I was learning English, it's like more grammatically right English. When you get to the States, it's like people say like what, not like what are you doing or what is you doing. So I'd be like, okay, so that's what, like, it is really hard to pick up at first, but then like when you're just being surrounded people, especially if you're a young person, it's easier to pick up and just understand people and try to talk to them every day. Because every time I went to a restaurant, like I look at the menu, I can read it, but I don't know what that is. So it's just like I ask all my teammates, like, or I look what everybody ordered and then trying to figure out all the other stuff. But yeah, and first person, funny enough, first person I met was a DT. He was walking in the dorm. It was like the first person I met. But on my visit, it was Evan Manning, Tyler Self, and Wayne Selden. That was my 3 hosts.
Today's episode is brought to you by Factor Meals. Super excited to be partnered with Factor because I use them all the time. I love Factor. It's a quick, easy, fresh, healthy, chef-prepared meal. Allows me to be at the top of my game for longer. It's healthy. It's hard to find fast food that's good for you. Factor's the way to go. Do you use them a lot?
I use them a lot. And when he says fast food, this is the fastest food you can get. You don't have to
100%.
drive anywhere and go to a drive-thru. I mean, you pull it out of your fridge and you poke a couple holes in the film, put it in the microwave 2 minutes, and it's ready. They're just fast, easy. Get me going in breakfast. Get me going at lunch when I'm having a hard day at work or a fast day at work. They're easy. They're healthy, and they taste really, really good.
Head to factormeals.com/rockchalk50 and use code rockchalk50 at checkout for 50% off your meal. That's right. Head to factormeals.com/rockchalk50 and use code rockchalk50 for 50% off your order. Head there now. I love them. Chris loves them. Support the pod. Support Factors. We love y'all.
How much did like being friends with DT and Wayne Selden kind of? I mean, you have a slang kind of Southern accent to your voice, especially being from Ukraine. Like every time I talk to people that have met you, they're like, Svi does not sound like I would think that he would sound. I mean,
I can if you want me to, but it's really bad.
I mean, you have it, dude. Like you've had it ever since the first time I met you too. When we had our first conversation, I was like, okay, yeah, this dude learned from definitely like a DT or a Wayne Selden. How much did that play?
Because all my roommates was like, I mean, first year it was like Evan, but when we moved to the mansion, it was like me, Jamari, Wayne, and DT. So it was like my roommates the whole time. So that's what I had to kick it with.
You played with Jamari.
I want to ask you.
Huh?
You played with Jamari. You played with Jamari Traylor.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think my junior and senior year. Yeah, I think it was 3, maybe even 4. No. It was my 2 years. My freshman and sophomore year.
My brother Connor played with Jamari, and he's like 10, 11.
Yeah, Jamari was the redshirt. He was a redshirt freshman, so he set out first year.
Yeah, true.
So
how did Coach recruit you from the Ukraine to Kansas? Like, what is?
Oh, so I came.
How did he pitch you?
I came to the Nike Hoop Summit game in Portland, and that was my first time ever being in America. And after that, Coach Self came in. I guess he flew into Portland. I don't know. It was him and Coach T. And they sit down with me talking. Obviously, I didn't know what they're saying. Maybe 10%. 20%, I know 20% what they saying, but that's how they recruited me, and
everybody we talk to on the show, former players, current players, they talk about wanting to come to Kansas because of the tradition and what they're known for, Allen Fieldhouse. How much of that did you know, or did you know any of it? Like, why did you decide on Kansas?
I know nothing, but when I was back home, I was. So when I was deciding, okay, like either I'm going to Europe or I'm trying to go play like college basketball. So I decided I want to go play college basketball. So I watched like a couple of games. Only school I knew because of how is Duke. Like there was the college basketball. Like I knew Duke, and I knew North Carolina. I knew Kansas, but it was like I just heard about it. But like everybody knew Duke. But then I was watching the game, and I was watching I think Andrew Wiggins' game, Kansas versus K-State, and it looked fun. And then I was like, oh, there's like great atmosphere. Like I want to play there. But it was just overall, I want to play in college basketball. Like it was not like I want to play for Kansas. I just want to play in college because it's great atmosphere. Like games looks fun. But then when I started going to visits, and my coach was with me, so I went to an unofficial visit to Oregon. Then I had to visit Virginia. But I had all the bunch of other schools like Arizona, Duke, North Carolina, blah, 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 blah. And then my coach was talking to me. He was like, we're just going through every school. And then when we turned, like, it was like big pages of schools, like names and pictures. And he turned to this one. He was like, this school is like one of the best schools basketball-wise in the country. So, like, if you go there, like, you're going to play in the best atmosphere, like, you're going to be playing with the top people. So that's how I learned about Kansas, because he told me about it.
How was that first time? I mean, late night probably was your first time playing in Allen Fieldhouse. When you ran out of that tunnel,
Yeah.
what was it like? Were you thinking, okay, this isn't what I expected? I know European basketball, the fans there are absolutely insane, but was it comparable?
Yeah.
Was it just like awestruck? How was that feeling?
I would say it was obviously really loud. There's only a couple places that get that loud in college, or in Europe, a couple places, but NBA obviously nothing really gets that loud. I mean playoffs, some teams, but like how people like cheer and support you, like I feel like it was a great experience for me, just coming out and seeing everybody. Everybody know every player and trying to support him, and just love the game of basketball.
Is it more
See,
like
I wanted to ask you, have you seen the stuff on Twitter about the Noah Lyles saying that NBA champions aren't world champions, and why are they calling themselves world champions? What is your opinion on that? Being a guy that has played in Europe before, has played in the FIBA World Cup, and has also played in the NBA. Like, what is your opinion? Is an NBA champion a world champion?
As for me, when people say world champion, I usually put it more to the national team like stuff, because it's best people in the world play against like these best countries. So I feel like when people say world champion, I usually my first thought is like World Cup or Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side is best teams and best players play in NBA. So my personal opinion, I think any NBA team would beat any European team, even last year. But like, even like in soccer, for example, I don't think people call themselves world champs. They just, the League of Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they win that, they just say we the champions of the League of Champions. But world champs, I feel like as for me personally, I would put it more on the side of if you win the World Cup or Olympics, then you can say world champion.
But would a team that won the finals be able to go to the FIBA? Like if the Golden State Warriors and their big run, and this year the Nuggets, if they went and played in FIBA, do you think that they would be world champions? Right? I feel like, in my opinion, they would be. If you took a team that played together, had all these players.
If you do that, I think so. Yeah, if you do that and you play, like, for example, best team in NBA, like, for example, NBA champs play against EuroLeague champs, then I feel like.
Well, I'm talking NBA champs against Germany, because didn't Germany just win the FIBA? Like, if they played in a game head-to-head, I feel like
Germany might have some people. But Germany might have some players from that team.
Just make two of them. It's fine. Simulate it on
like,
see what happens.
If you would put like Denver and Serbia, like Jokic will have to play for somebody.
The Nuggets.
Okay, so Serbia not gonna win because they don't have their best player.
Okay, but I'm saying like no, not in that way. So the Germany, I don't think anybody from the Nuggets is from Germany. I don't think anybody, unless they're a bench player or something.
No, nobody.
So the Nuggets would beat Germany.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. So world champions.
If they do that, but again, for me, if you say world champs, I would say World Cup or Olympics. That's what qualify people to call themselves.
You played in the World Cup with Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience? What is that experience like compared to being in the NBA?
I would say, again, it's more of a European basketball, but it was me. It was I think it was a year before I got to Kansas, and again, it was obviously great time. I played against United States, play against all the young Kyrie, Clay, James Harden, D Rose was coming back from the injury, so he was still in his prime.
How did you play?
I just scored like 3 points, I think.
It's more than a lot of people.
I remember I scored on DeMar DeRozan. I scored 3.
That's 3 more points than I would score. Okay, so let's go back to you had a great career at Kansas, but I think the most memorable year outside of your junior year when we lost to Oregon in the Sprint Center, just absolutely freak game. Your last year, my first year, we went to the Final Four, and I hate to say it like this because we were a great team, but we really were a Cinderella story. We had no business doing what we did. 14 straight Big 12
titles. But we had 7 people playing basketball.
7? Really was 6.
7 people.
Hey, Chris, watch yourself.
6.5.
Well, we had Doak out. It was Mitch and Sosa, Sosinski were the guys playing it in the Big 12 tournament.
Oh, yeah. He was playing too, I remember.
Yeah.
Big Sosa, baby.
Is that something you hang your hat on, like that year was a victory? Because, it was. Like, we have a record that won't be touched again. Is that not the equivalent to a national championship, but did you walk away from Kansas being like, we did what we could do?
I would say I did my best, but it was definitely upsetting that we didn't, win the national championship. But I feel like we accomplished a lot. Obviously, could have been differently. If junior year we hit a couple more shots, and they were hitting some crazy backboard. Tyler Dorsey was hitting some crazy backboard threes.
Offensive rebound, banking 3.
God, I was crying at my house watching that game.
I was wow, dude. I was like, God damn. But
that was Dylan Brooks before Dylan Brooks was Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, but I feel like we had 4 Big 12 championships. I feel like we played great overall, and with the our last year we had like 7-8 people that are eligible to play, and as far as we went, which I never really thought about it, but we had like 7. Sam Cunliffe was coming in. He couldn't even play till the half of the season.
Yeah.
So it was just, I wouldn't say we overachieved, but people didn't expect us to do that well. I remember people were saying like we're gonna be the one who's gonna break the streak of the 14 in a row.
For a little bit, we were.
Yeah.
We were looking like it.
We lost Arizona State, then we lost at home to Texas Tech, and I was like, oh, wow. Yeah.
We lost 3 straight.
No way I don't count that third game in Kansas City. I don't count it.
But, that was the...
We did lose 3 straight, but it was not 3. It was not 3 straight at home, but it was 3 straight, yes.
Yeah, they did say home.
So who were the 3 straight losses?
Where they said Sprint Center was home. They're like, that was the first time in the Coach Self era or like Kansas history that we had lost 3 in a row at home. And they counted the Sprint Center game as a home game.
Yeah, I don't count that.
So we lost Oklahoma State.
And Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. And then who was the third one? Was it Washington?
Oh, Washington, yeah.
Washington, yeah. Dude. You can't count this. Like, the Sprint Center's great, don't get me wrong.
Huh?
It was Arizona
State was earlier.
No, Arizona State was the last game we played before finals. So we played Washington at the Sprint Center. We played Arizona State on a Sunday or something, got smacked, and then we played Texas Tech where they told us.
Yeah, but we did lose to Oklahoma State too.
Yeah,
but it was not in a row, but we still lost. Yeah.
All right, Svi, I'll let you tell a little bit of this story because I forgot about the Oklahoma State. It was what, the 100th. What was the anniversary?
Oh, it was
120.
it was some crazy anniversary, so everybody came in.
It was the 10-year anniversary of like we had some kind of anniversary.
I think it was like 50 or 75. I forgot, but it was like a big date, or maybe 120. But it was like a big day. Everybody, like Larry Brown came back. Like I don't remember if Danny Manning was there, but like it was everybody came back towards that game, and then obviously we lost. And then we had like the banquet after that, and so we all came to the banquet, and Coach Self started talking, and he just started blasting us in front of all the people that was there. Like it was so embarrassing, and he was just like apologizing for like all the people that came. He was like, "I'm sorry that y'all came in to watch us lose, blah blah." But like, I'm so embarrassed. I was like, he just blasting us. It was like it was really tough and embarrassing moment for me.
These are the sorriest guys I've ever had here.
And it was like it was so many. It was like a lot of people there, and he just like going at us in front. Like he went on stage, like literally in front of everybody. He just started talking real mean about us.
It was like there was 200 people there, all the former guys who played at Kansas, all the big donors.
Yeah.
And he ripped us for a solid like 35 minutes. Like literally apologized to everybody. Like, I'm sorry, these dudes are so soft. Like, you guys, they don't deserve to wear the Kansas uniform or whatever. My brother was there.
Yeah.
We like rode home together. He said something to be like, I don't even think that we got our ass ripped that bad at any point.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
Is that the worst you guys like the worst ass chewing you guys have had from Coach Self? Like it was by far mine. I don't know. What about you guys?
I mean, it was just bad because it was in front of all the people that played there and all the like coaches that coached there, and it's just like in front of everybody. I feel like that's worse unless he would have said that to us like during the practice. It would still be bad, but we would be like, okay.
It was super embarrassing, and I mean, like no one really. I didn't feel like I should go shake anybody's hand after. I think all of us bounced immediately. Like people were looking at us funny and staring at us, or like not making eye contact, whatever it was. But it was one of those times where I was like, okay, yeah, we let some people down there.
No, for sure. It was a pretty embarrassing moment.
Speaking of Coach Self, I posted on Instagram asking for people's questions they had for you, Steve. One of them was, what is Coach Self like off the court away from basketball?
Totally different person. I mean, in a good way. Obviously, great guy, charismatic, always, if any former players need help with anything, they call him, and, he'll try to do everything to help him out in any way, shape, or form. And really supportive, great friend. So I feel like all the guys that come into school don't like him at first, but then by the end of their career in Kansas, they really like that guy, and really appreciate what he has done for each
and his switch, his Coach Self's switch, and everybody asked me about like what is he like. His switch from as soon as practice ends, after he gives his speech.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It is so quick. I mean, he will sit there and you will think that, like, he doesn't want to ever talk to you again. You're about to get kicked off the team, and then you'll go up to him after and be like, hey, bud, love you, man. Like, make you feel like $1 million. Like, he has that switch where he turns it off and on.
Yeah, that would, like, for me, it would be hard to do because if I just, yell at you for an hour and a half, 2 hours, like, call you all the words and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's not just like yelling. It is like really attacking you as a person, as like a basketball player, everything.
For sure. And then you just like after that you do become like best friends. I'd be like, it would be really hard for me to do if I would be him, but he doing a great job with it, and I feel like the more you be around him, you understand that basketball is basketball, and life is life.
How different is Coach Self's coaching style from like NBA coaches? Because I know like in college, Coach Self has all the control, and in the NBA, I feel like the players have all the control almost.
Yeah, that's for sure different. I feel like not just Coach Self. I feel like all the college coaches and NBA coaches is different because in NBA, everybody, professional players and been around basketball for a long time, and I feel like, as people say, NBA is the players' league, and sometimes it is some coaches like, Popovich or, Spo, other like high top coaches that can yell at people. And but again, even if they yell at people, it's like everybody understand. Like Tibbs, then my coach and Steve Clifford and for Charlotte. I feel like those old school coaches, even if they yell, like you gotta understand, like it's just basketball. And when people get older, more mature, they understand that more and they don't take it personally.
And people ask me that same kind of question.
Some players take it. Some players do take it personal, but it just again, you just gotta understand.
And people ask me that question all the time, like, what's the difference between them? And I say that in college basketball, in college and high school basketball, you can take a team that's not as talented and make them want it so bad. Like, any team can do that. Any coach can do that. And in the NBA, there's only a few coaches that can do that. I mean, yeah, you got Popovich, maybe Thibodeau. He ends up usually running people into the ground. I'm going to ask you about like kind of his coaching style after, but would you agree with, like, you can take a non-talented team in college and go do great things just because you're so damn competitive? In the NBA, you do need some talent just because those dudes are unreal. You can win as bad as you want, but you're not stopping Steph Curry if you don't have enough talent. Yeah,
for sure. Obviously, you got to have talent, but I mean, you got to have talent to get to playoffs. But then, even not that, like you gotta have competitive spirits, talent, and like focus, and to get, because it's 30 teams, and there's only 8 from each side get to playoff. So it's like it's really hard. So you definitely gotta be to get to an NBA. You gotta be talented. Yeah. So it's like that's the first thing. So everybody talented in the NBA. But then you gotta understand how to play basketball, and you gotta know your role. You gotta buy into your role. So it's a lot of things that come up together in NBA than in college. As you were saying, even if you got not as talented guys, if they play really hard, they probably gonna beat the guys who's more talented but don't play as hard.
I mean, yeah, you look at teams in the tournament; they'll go far. Like, I mean, San Diego State. And did they have one person drafted? There's teams like that can go to the Final Four, go to the Elite Eight, and have nobody drafted, nobody be able to play on the next level. I don't know. It's a combination of talent and being competitive in the NBA. But in college, you can just be competitive and still find your way through matchups because there's so many teams that aren't scouting.
Yeah, for sure. But again, to win, you gotta be talented and you gotta play really hard. So if you really think about winning a championship in NCAA level, you have to have talent and you really have to compete every game.
But I feel like college, like, you're playing one game. If you get hot for those,
for sure, yeah, every game matters. It's not like, yeah.
But the 16 seed, as we've seen, could beat a 1 seed if they catch them on a good day, and they just got to beat them one time. The 16 seed isn't going to go to a 7-game series and beat
for sure,
any 1 seed ever.
That's why everybody like March Madness. It's one game, and hey, sometimes stars align the wrong way, and you ain't gonna make shots, and you gotta figure out other ways to win the game. But and like anything can happen in March Madness.
Chris, I want to do a speed round where we ask as many questions as fast as you can. Svi, you got to answer them. It can be one word or a sentence. But I'm going to ask stuff like, what's your favorite game you've played in, favorite venue, a bunch of different stuff. So we'll start now. I want to ask you, what is your favorite venue to play in college basketball? Outside of Allen Fieldhouse.
Outside of Allen Fieldhouse?
Yeah, favorite place to play.
Oh, that's tough. Actually, it was fun. The fun game was, I feel like every year was different. First couple of years, K-State was really good, but then they fell off. I feel like my last year at Texas Tech game was really good.
Maybe my all-time favorite being in Kansas.
Yeah, that one was good.
What's your favorite?
West Virginia and Kansas was great too.
They were good.
What was your favorite restaurant?
Huh?
Favorite restaurant in Lawrence?
Oh. I mean, I know everybody want to say Jefferson's, but
It's not a bad answer.
Man, Kobe's. I would say Kobe's.
Okay.
Kobe's good. Favorite bar in Lawrence?
Ooh. Again, it changed from year to year. So my first 2 years it was the Hawk, but then we started going to Brothers. So I feel like those two. I mean, Tonic when it was Tonic. Like I feel like for my first 2 years it was like the best time, but then it just everything, start dying down a little bit.
What was your favorite game from college?
Would you like video
Favorite
game?
game you played in?
Oh, favorite game? Obviously the LEA game when we went to Final Four. But I mean, I've been at even me when we played against Oklahoma at home when Buddy Hield had 46. We won. It was a great game. When we were down like 14 with like 2 minutes left against West Virginia, we won that game. That was a good game.
Not the Duke game where you hit one of the like bigger shots.
Yeah, I'm saying the LEA game when we went to Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the hardest player to guard in the NBA?
NBA. I mean, every team has one that you can't guard. You can't go you can't go start like LeBron, KD, Steph, Kyrie, Luka. Like I feel like every team has a couple. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
We usually get 2 answers, and it's Steph and Dame, because Dame hits stuff from.
Ooh, I forgot Dame. Yeah, Dame.
Steph and Dame are usually the answers, because Steph you got to chase around the whole damn game, and it's like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he run nonstop.
And Dame because he just shoots it from anywhere.
Yeah.
Fee, what was your
I feel like KD is one of those like can't really do nothing about it neither.
He's soft now though.
Svi, what was your welcome to the NBA moment?
Welcome to the NBA moment.
Like where you realize, like, yeah, shit, this is like the NBA. Like, did somebody go at you, get a bucket on you? Like,
no, I feel like so it was we had a practice. We playing like 5-on-5, and we scrimmaging. It was like Magic Johnson just sitting watching Rob Pelinka just watching practice, and then LeBron scored like 5 threes in a row to win the game. So like he scored 3, we going back, we miss a score shot, whatever. Next possession, he scored 3 again. We do his arrow ball, we do score, whatever. He comes back, he scored 3 again, and he did it 5 times. And his last time, he did one dribble, like one-legged pull-up from a 3, and he won the game over the backboard. That was crazy.
That's a Twitter clip, isn't it? I think I've seen that on like something like that on Twitter.
Dude, he scored 5 possessions in a row, 3s, and the last one was of one leg. Like we pressuring one leg fading away off the backboard. That was crazy.
Describe Tom Thibodeau's coaching style in one word.
Oh. It's hard in one word, but
well, give me as little words as you can to accurately describe it.
It's like really, really methodical, I would say, and like really strict.
Yeah.
Like you can't get out of lines, and it's like it's super close to college coaching.
I understand.
Has your video
not super
game
close, but closer than any other coaches, as in like intensity wise.
Has your video game habit from at least the year that we played together, has it changed when you got to the NBA, or do you still sit in a dark room and grind on the PC?
No, I still do that, but a little less. A little less because we have a little more games, but yeah, I definitely.
For the people that don't know, we would literally walk by we had study rooms in McCarthy, and Svi would be He'd be with like 3 energy drinks and his laptop and headphones on in a dark ass room, just gaming at like 3 in the morning.
You wouldn't be able to talk to him nothing. I came and studied for finals, and one of like the 3rd floor was taken, whatever. I went down to the 2nd floor. Lights were off. I'm like, all right, cool. Open the door. Svi, how long are you gonna be in here? Absolutely no reply, no nothing. I was like, all right, I'm locked in. Close the door.
Svi, I don't know. Do you follow along with KU football a lot or not really?
Right nowadays, since they started winning games.
What? How many games do you think they're going to win this year?
First of all, I don't even know how many games in the season, so I ain't going to lie to you.
Like 11?
12?
11, 12?
Oh, so they won 1, right?
2.
They just beat Illinois. Last one was Illinois?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they beat 2. So it's 12
You got to win
games.
6 to go to a bowl game.
How many?
6.
They won 6 last year, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll give it 8. Nah, that's I'll do 8.
That's a good number. What do you think, Chris?
If we win 8 football games, I went last week into the Illinois game as Friday night. That's the first time I felt that environment since 2008, 2009. I had a damn blast. If we win 8 football games, I don't want to say anything.
Dude, when I was there, they won I think they won maybe 2 games in 4 years. That's kind of like preseason games and
we lost. We lost like 2 or 3 preseason games throughout your.
They be losing to D2 schools, D3. I was like, damn, that's.
And
we used to just go to tailgate and go to first half, and the stadium was wide, like nobody was there. Right now, I saw the pictures and videos. I was like, God damn.
It's booming.
Like literally, I was like, jeez.
Me and Mitch we lived next to the stadium our last year there. When football games were going on and we were bored after practice or whatever, we would.
Y'all didn't stay at Dimension?
No, that was our condition. Our 5th year was that we were able to live off campus. We wanted to come back. Coach, I was like, yeah, cool. I don't know how we had that negotiation power, but we had a house. But we would go to the stadium when we were bored and go get like a soda and nachos and sit in the stands and probably not have a person within 100 feet of us. And we just sit there. No one would come talk to us, nothing. We just walk into the stadium and just sit there and eat nachos and drink sodas or whatever. Like literally, that's what we did on Saturday when we were bored.
Wow.
Well, Svi, I wanted to let's wrap this up. I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. It's been amazing. We appreciate you and all you've done for KU, and we wish you the best of luck here coming up this next year at the Celtics. Chris, take it away.
Hey, that does it for our episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Svi, thank you for being a part of it. Rock Chalk, baby.